Salve omnes, this is Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and we've made it to the final episode, and the final stage for that matter. We've completed all 6 regular worlds, and now all that's left is the final boss battle. Gangplank Galleon is on this map, but it's not an entire world. Just one boss. Say hello to King K. Rool. Blimey, that's a big croc! At the start of the fight, he just walks back and forth after you hit him. He throws his crown at you, and the crown hurts you if you touch it. Doesn't matter if it's after he throws it or when it's on his head. If you want to damage him, you have to wait until he throws it, then jump on his head. Yeah, it starts out simple enough. He runs back and forth once, and then twice, and then 3 times after you hit him. But don't worry, the fight gets a bit more complex and a bit more tricky later on, and as you can hear, the music is getting more ominous as well. Time for Phase 2. Whereupon he drops cannonballs on you. Listen for when the cannonballs stop, so you can be prepared for when he starts throwing his crown again. How can a guy that big jump that far? And as you can imagine, now the cannonballs will go down twice. Well, across once and then across again the other way. I find that it seems to work best to roll in between the cannonballs. I think you can just walk in between them, but generally it's safer to go a little faster than that. And now it's time for Stage 2, Part 3. Where we get 3 rows of cannonballs, and we have to roll under them 3 times. I used to have a lot more trouble with that part as a kid. And we jump on him again, and yay, we've defeated K. Rool! Of course, the music's still playing, but that shouldn't mean much, right? Now cue the credit sequence. Wait, what? Coding Claptrap, characters Krusha? Everyone in the credits is Kremlings? The end? Something funny's going on here. Yeah, as you can imagine, that wasn't the real end of the boss fight, or the real credit sequence. Now it's time for the 3rd phase of King K. Rool's battle, and it's simple enough, too. Now he's jumping, and almost jumping on me. Each time his jumps are a shorter distance, and he does more of them. And the banana falls down, and this time we've defeated him for real. Yay! Well done, Donkey, my boy. Who'd have thought a young whippersnapper like you could have beaten that bunch of no-good Kremlings? You've made an old man proud. And that's about the only time Cranky ever says he's proud with you. Go and look in your hoard. I think you'll be in for a surprise. What a player you are, Donkey, my lad. You've beaten the Kremlings and found absolutely everything. You're nearly as good as I used to be. Yeah, he says that if you find all of the bonus rooms in the game. If you miss any of the bonus rooms, he'll say something different about, well, there being some bonus rooms you still haven't found. And now it's time for the real, well, not credit sequence so much as cast of characters right now. First we get to see the bad guys as they walk across the screen. Naughty, who comes in the regular green kind, and then Millstone inhabiting kind. Necky, there's only one kind of those, and only one kind of army. Zingers come in 4 different colors. Slippas only come in 1 variety and only appear in this game. And the same goes for Manky Kong and Mini Necky. As for the aquatic bad guys, well, we have Bite Size. And we have Croctopus, both the regular purple ones and the blue ones that chase you. CHOMPS Jr. and CHOMPS. Clambo. And Squidge. And there's a little amusing scene here where CHOMPS Jr. apparently wants to chase a Squidge. So he gets some of his buddies and they chase him right back. The Kremlings. KRITTER, who also has 4 different palettes. And Clump. Crash. And both varieties of Claptrap. Rock Croc, you might notice it doesn't start with the K. And Krush, both the regular ones and the super tough, only defeatable with barrel ones. The bosses, very naughty. Master Necky, Queen Bee, Pallet Slot, very naughty, I mean really naughty, and Dumb Drum, who does absolutely nothing but just go across the screen, and apparently Master Necky Sr., who's purple, and King K. Rool. As for the good guys, well, we have everybody's favorite animal buddy, Rambi, and we have Expresso, and Ingard, an old classic, appeared in all 3 of the original games, and Winky. Squawks also showed up in all 3, except in this game he doesn't act the same way as he does in Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. As for the Kongs, we have, well... Is it my turn yet? No, it's not, Cranky. Be patient, will ya? We have Funky Kong and we have Candy Kong. Surely it's me next! My name isn't Shirley, and I said be patient, old man. Cranky Kong, and Diddy Kong, and our hero, Donkey Kong. And another little amusing scene. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? What? Ah, got your toe. Oh yeah, well, take that. Whoa, what's that? What? Oh, boink. Ow. Hey! Yeah. I did this using 1 life! And I took less than an hour! Yeah, newsflash, Cranky, nobody cares! I would have to be curious, though I'm curious if anything different would happen if you actually did manage to make it through the game as he said, without losing a life and taking less than an hour. I'm not sure if that's actually possible, especially not without tool assistance, but I don't know. And now it's time for the real credit sequence. The music, by the way, is called Kredits Concerto. You can understand why. This credit sequence actually isn't very long, so... the composers. David Wise, Eveline Fisher, and Robin Beeland, who didn't really compose much, and didn't show up in the other 2 games. Yeah. David Wise, probably one of my favorite video game composers of all time. He did most of the music for the 2nd game. And a bunch of people that I really don't need to read aloud, I suppose. Not sure why they're abbreviating all the first names, though. Original Donkey Kong creator, Shigeru Miyamoto. Boy, he's come a long way. Producer there and presented by Nintendo. And after the credit sequence, well... Suddenly cut to black and we're back to the title screen. And we're officially finished with Donkey Kong Country. What a ride. Again, I swear that game was a heck of a lot harder when I was a kid. We've completed the game in 2 hours and 19 minutes and gotten a whole 101%. I'm actually not sure where the extra 1% comes from. So, yeah, Donkey Kong Country. Released in 1994 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or Super Famicom if you're Japanese. Fantastic game. I would highly recommend it. If you have a Super Nintendo, get this game. Unless you absolutely hate platformers for whatever reason. Heck, get all 3 of them. Whoops. Oh. Oh yeah, this repeats. If I don't constantly press buttons. But yeah, I still think this was my least favorite of the original trilogy. But it's still a very, very good game. The graphics are amazing for the time. The music is excellent. The level design, well, it does its thing, I guess. I actually find this game a bit easier than the others. Everybody always says Donkey Kong Country 2 is the hardest one, and I'd have to agree. I always thought the 3rd one was the easiest, but after going through this game, I'm not sure which one's easier, 1 or 3. far as... well, like I said, I can't really pinpoint exactly why I don't like this one quite as much as the others. Like, I think there's a bigger gap between it and 2 than between 2 and 3. I don't know. There is the whole bonus room issue. I managed to get full completion in Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 with no guides, though admittedly that probably had more to do with me not knowing at the time that the information was so readily accessible than actually not wanting to use them. Had I had a guide for those, I probably would have just gone ahead and looked stuff up, but I never got 101% completion in this game on my own, and I don't think I ever would have. I don't think I would have found that bonus in Tanked Up Trouble, or the one in Elevator Antics. I mean, I really don't like when game designers do that. Just, I don't care if it's a hidden item, I don't care if it's optional, don't put it in a place where it's so practically impossible to find it. I mean, it's one that there's a difference between challenge and difficulty and just being unfair. That applies as much to hidden items as it does to level design. And I guess there's the fact that this game is seemingly shorter than the others. It doesn't seem like it should be that much shorter because, like, it has about the same number of levels as the second game, not counting the Lost World. I guess part of the reason why this game seems shorter is not having a Lost World. It's a pity it doesn't. I still want somebody to make a ROM hack of this game that adds one. Adds 5 or 6 new levels to it, maybe even a secret boss. Refight with King K. Rool, perhaps. But, I mean, just look at the episode count. This game took only 13 episodes to get through, whereas the third game took 18, and the second, 21. Or 22, I guess. But either way, granted, I don't know what the actual time count or total would be, but as you can see, it took me 2 hours and 19 minutes to get through this game, whereas generally Donkey Kong Country 3 takes close to 4 hours, and Donkey Kong Country 2 probably more than 4. So, there is that. Since I don't really have much more to say about Donkey Kong Country, except, well, once again, I love this game, and I love all of its sequels even more. At least assuming we're not counting Donkey Kong 64 as an actual Donkey Kong Country sequel. But as far as next projects, well, I do have a couple in mind. One in particular, kind of a special project that was suggested to me by one of my viewers that I plan to do soon, when I can. And I might do another thing around the same time. I still need to start recording Copy Kitty at some point. But yeah, I certainly have plenty more games to record a playthrough of, so there's no shortage of those. And with that, I don't have a whole lot else to say. So, I really hope you enjoyed watching all of these videos, and I hope you'll join me for my next project, whenever it comes. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.